That day was the best and worst in Lily's life. At 29, she stood at the pinnacle of her career as an ecological landscaper, a passion she'd nurtured since her college days in Boulder, Colorado, where she sketched sustainable garden designs in worn notebooks. Greenwave, the company she'd founded with her fiancé Ethan, had just secured a multi-million-dollar contract to redesign the gardens of a luxury resort in Santa Barbara, California, a milestone that promised to elevate them to the top of the landscaping industry in the U.S. Lily had poured years into this dream, sacrificing weekends, sleep, and time with family to create projects blending beauty and sustainability, like rainwater harvesting systems and native plantings that honored local ecosystems. Every detail of that contract, from selecting drought-resistant succulents to negotiating with the resort's board, bore her signature, her sweat, her vision. Ethan, with his sharp charm and the financial backing of his wealthy family from Colorado Springs, had secured the initial contacts, but Lily was the one who turned ideas into reality. That morning, in Greenwave's cozy office, adorned with potted ferns and framed photos of landscapes, they toasted with coffee, and Ethan hugged her, promising this was just the first step toward a life of shared triumphs. Lily, eyes shining, envisioned their future. The wedding they'd planned since meeting at 17, a house with a porch overlooking the Pacific, and their company becoming a national benchmark. But by afternoon, everything crumbled. While Ethan spoke on the phone in the office's corner, his phone buzzed on the rustic wooden desk, and a message flashed. "Tonight at our spot, babe." The sender was Ava, Lily's cousin, whom she'd brought into Greenwave 2 years earlier when Ava, freshly fired from a struggling florist, begged for a job. Lily had always seen her cousin as a younger sister, someone to protect and guide. Heart pounding, she unlocked Ethan's phone. The password, their high school meeting date, now felt like a betrayal. The messages unraveled like a nightmare. Flirty exchanges, plans for secret meetups, photos that made the floor drop from under her. Ethan and Ava were having an affair, betraying her while she poured her soul into their shared dream. Without thinking, Lily stormed across the office to the room where Ava was sorting soil samples for a new project. "How could you, Ava?" she demanded, her voice quaking with rage and hurt. Ava, her auburn hair tied in a messy bun, looked away, unable to sustain the lie. "Lily, I didn't mean for it to happen. We fell in love." Love? The word cut like a blade. Before Lily could respond, Ethan walked in, his face hardening. "Don't talk to her like that," he snapped, as if Lily were the outsider. "You won't get away with this, Ethan," she shot back, tears burning but refusing to fall. He gave a cold, almost cruel smile. "You don't get it, Lily. This company exists because of my money, my family's connections. You were useful, but now, I don't need you anymore." He pulled an envelope from his blazer and tossed it on the desk. "You're fired. And you get nothing from the contract. The shares, they're mine." Lily felt the air leave her lungs. Fired from her own company, betrayed by her fiancé and cousin, days before the contract's fruition. It was as if her work, her dreams, her life, had been erased with a pen stroke. "You're a coward," she said, voice steady despite the pain. "Run this without me, Ethan. Let's see how far you get." She grabbed her bag, squared her shoulders, and left the office, her footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. Outwardly strong inside, she was collapsing. Ethan and Ava had stolen everything, her company, her future, her trust. Driving through Boulder's tree-lined streets, tears finally fell, hot and silent. She and Ethan had been one since their teens, meeting at a school science fair, she with her plant sketches, he with his confident pitch. They'd dreamed and planned together, and now he'd discarded her like she was nothing. But amid the pain, a spark of anger flared. She couldn't let this stand. She couldn't let Ethan win. At home, trying to gather her thoughts, her phone pinged with an old notification. A message from Noah, Ethan's younger brother with whom he'd always clashed. Noah, estranged from the family, had sent congratulations on their engagement months ago, saying he couldn't attend the wedding. Lily had never met him, but she knew of the bad blood between the brothers, though Ethan never explained why. Staring at that message, a bold, almost absurd idea formed. What if she could use Noah to show Ethan she wasn't broken? What if she could turn this betrayal into a fresh start? Heart still aching but resolve growing, Lily grabbed her car keys, determined to find Noah. It was the first step to reclaiming her life, or maybe, just maybe, a revenge that would make her feel alive again. Lily drove through Boulder's streets, her heart still racing from Ethan and Ava's betrayal. But a spark of determination burned within her. The sunset painted the sky in shades of amber, and streetlights flickered on, reflecting off her car's windows like tiny beacons of hope. She didn't know exactly what she'd say to Noah, Ethan's younger brother, but the audacious, almost cinematic idea in her mind felt like the only way to turn pain into something tangible, something she could wield to rise again. Noah was an enigma, someone Ethan mentioned with contempt, as if he were a bothersome shadow from the past. Lily recalled Ethan's rare comments about him. Noah's a dreamer with no future, a rebel who never fit in with the family. But now that old message from Noah, sent months ago to congratulate her on the engagement, felt like a call from fate. She parked in front of a modest building in downtown Denver, where Noah ran his cultural events company, Roots Alive. The simple sign, with neon letters blinking intermittently, gave the place an air of unfulfilled promise. Lily took a deep breath, smoothed her wavy brown hair in the rearview mirror, and stepped inside, carrying a mix of nerves and courage. The interior of Roots Alive was organized chaos. Posters of local music festivals and folk art exhibits lined the walls, while boxes of promotional materials were stacked in a corner. A young receptionist, with hoop earrings and a weary smile, looked up. "Can I help you?" she asked. "I'm Lily, here to see Noah." "It's urgent," Lily said, hesitating. The receptionist raised an eyebrow, but pointed to a door at the back. "He's in there, but knock first." Lily crossed the hallway, her sneakers echoing on the concrete floor. She knocked, and a warm, deep voice answered, "Come in." Noah was behind a cluttered desk, surrounded by papers, an old laptop, and a cold cup of coffee. At 27, he had a laid-back vibe, with slightly tousled black hair, a t-shirt with a Bluegrass Festival logo, and brown eyes that seemed to hold an untold story. "Lily? Ethan's fiancée?" he asked, standing with a surprised look. "Ex-fiancée," she corrected, her voice firm but betraying a tremor of hurt. "I need to talk to you, it's important." Noah crossed his arms, intrigued. "Okay, but what's the emergency?" Lily took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her words. "Ethan cheated on me, with my cousin Ava, and he fired me from Greenwave, the company I built with him, right before our biggest contract. He left me with nothing, Noah, but I'm not going to sit still. I want you to help me show him he didn't break me. I want us to pretend we're engaged." The words spilled out in a near-desperate rush, and she surprised herself with their boldness. Noah raised his eyebrows, a half-smile of disbelief crossing his face. "You're kidding, right? Is this some kind of prank?" He leaned forward, studying her as if gauging her seriousness. "No prank, it's revenge," Lily said, sitting straighter. "Ethan always talked about you like you were beneath him. I know you two don't speak. Imagine how much it would hurt him to see you, the brother he despises, with me, the woman he threw away. We can fake it, just for a while, until he feels what it's like to lose." Noah ran a hand through his hair, chuckling without humor. "Wow, Lily, you don't mess around, but this is crazy. I barely know you. And even if I can't stand Ethan, I'm not into playing these games. It's not my thing." He paused, his eyes softening with curiosity and respect. "But I know what you're capable of. Ethan always bragged about Greenwave, but everyone in the industry knows the ideas were yours. You're damn good. So how about another idea? Work with me." Lily blinked, caught off guard. "Work with you? Here?" she asked, glancing around. The office looked one step from bankruptcy, with peeling paint and a stack of unpaid bills on the desk. Noah shrugged, a spark of determination in his eyes. "Yeah, here. Roots Alive is struggling. I organize music festivals, craft fairs, events celebrating American culture, bluegrass, folk, Native American art. But I lack strategy, marketing, vision. You're a pro at that. If you want, you can turn this place around. And maybe show Ethan he made the biggest mistake of his life." Lily hesitated. Revenge still burned in her chest, but Noah's offer was something solid, a chance to rebuild what Ethan had destroyed. She thought of Greenwave, the gardens she'd designed with love, the dreams Ethan had trashed. Working with Noah wasn't what she'd planned, but it might be better than a reckless fake engagement scheme. "All right," she said, extending her hand. "But I'm warning you, if I'm in, I'm shaking this place up. We'll make Roots Alive bigger than Greenwave." Noah shook her hand, a genuine smile spreading. "That's what I like to hear. Welcome to the team, Lily." In the days that followed, Lily dove into Roots Alive with an energy she didn't know she still had. The office, once a jumble of disorganized ideas, began to hum under her leadership. She analyzed Noah's past events, which, though charming, suffered from poor promotion and planning. Lily pitched bold ideas: a folk music festival in a Denver park, with food trucks serving regional barbecue and craft workshops, a traveling exhibit of Native American artists emphasizing sustainability, and a digital campaign using vibrant short videos to draw a younger crowd. Noah, initially skeptical, soon caught her enthusiasm. He was Ethan's opposite in every way. Where Ethan was calculated and self-centered, Noah was collaborative, listened intently, and wasn't afraid to admit when he didn't know something. They spent hours together, reviewing budgets, picking venues and debating ideas, often late into the night, with only the hum of a fan and their occasional laughter breaking the silence. One evening, over takeout tacos from a nearby food truck, Lily asked about Noah's rift with Ethan. He hesitated, stirring his soda before answering. "I'm adopted," he said finally, voice low. "My parents, Ethan's parents, took me in when I was 8. I came from a rough neighborhood in Albuquerque, and they gave me a home. But Ethan, he never accepted me. Thought I was an intruder, stealing his spotlight. When our parents died, he fought me over the inheritance, said I didn't deserve a dime, that I was just charity. I got a small share through court, but cut ties with him and the family." Lily's chest tightened. Noah's story echoed her own pain, the feeling of being discarded by those meant to value you. "That's unfair," she said firmly. "You're as much a part of that family as he is. And Noah, you're 1,000 times better than Ethan. He'd never have the guts to start something like Roots Alive, something that matters." Noah smiled, a bit shy. "Thanks, Lily. I've always wanted to build something that connects people, shows the heart of our culture. But I never had your knack for turning ideas into reality." That night, driving home, Lily felt a lightness she hadn't known since the betrayal. Working with Noah wasn't just a chance to rebuild her career, it was a way to rediscover herself. But the hurt still lingered. She imagined the day Ethan would see Roots Alive shining in newspapers, on billboards, across social media, and realize his mistake. For now she focused on the present. Each event planned, each idea executed, was a step toward a new horizon. And though she wouldn't admit it, Noah's conversations, the glances shared over spreadsheets, were starting to stir something she wasn't ready to name. The weeks after Lily's decision to join Noah were a whirlwind, fast, intense, and sometimes dauntingly unpredictable. Roots Alive, once a drifting ship, began to take shape under her command. Lily brought a fierce energy to the office, turning the chaotic space into a hub of creativity. She spent days buried in spreadsheets, supplier contacts, and meetings with local artists, while nights were filled with brainstorming sessions with Noah, often fueled by strong coffee and talks that stretched until Denver's skyline glowed with dawn. Lily proposed a bold project, a bluegrass festival in City Park, with booths for sustainable crafts, banjo workshops, and a social media campaign using short videos of local musicians playing at farmers' markets to attract a young, diverse crowd. The goal was to celebrate America's heartland culture with a modern twist that spoke to the digital generation. Noah, initially wary of the plan's scale, soon caught her fire. He was Ethan's opposite. Where Ethan led with arrogance, Noah collaborated with humility, always ready to listen and learn. Lily noticed it in small gestures, how he jotted her suggestions in a worn notebook, how he asked the team's input before deciding, how he shared credit for every win. It was impossible not to compare. Ethan never let her shine, always claiming the spotlight. Noah seemed genuinely happy to see her soar. One night, finalizing the festival's budget in uncomfortable chairs, with a fan humming and a cooling pizza on the table, Lily felt a lightness she hadn't known in months. Noah shared stories of his childhood in Albuquerque, pre-adoption, running through street markets with friends, dreaming of being a musician. "I wanted to play the banjo, believe it or not. Never got the hang of it," he said, laughing as he grabbed a pizza slice. Lily smiled, picturing a young Noah with those same bright brown eyes, strumming off-key in a dusty lot. "You could still learn, you know. Roots Alive could offer banjo workshops at the festival," she teased, half serious. Noah's eyes lit up. "What, you see me up there, butchering a tune in front of everyone?" They laughed, and for a moment, the weight of Ethan and Ava's betrayal felt lighter, like a fading memory. But the pain lingered, tucked into the margins of her busy days. Lily worked tirelessly, not just to save Roots Alive, but to prove she was bigger than the hurt. Every email answered, every deal closed, every viral post was a step away from the past. Still, she sometimes caught herself thinking of Ethan, how he'd discarded her, as if their years together, late nights building Greenwave, takeout dinners with cheap wine, shared dreams, meant nothing. The wound still bled, but working with Noah was a balm, keeping her moving forward. One afternoon, reviewing the festival timeline, Noah shared more of his story. "I never felt like part of Ethan's family," he said, stacking colorful flyers. "When I was adopted at 8, I thought I'd found a real home. But Ethan saw me as a rival. He was 12, the perfect son, the heir. When our parents died, he tried to cut me out of the inheritance, said I wasn't their blood. I fought in court, got my share, but lost any chance of being part of that family." Lily stopped typing, her heart heavy. "That's cruel, Noah. They took you in, gave you a home, and Ethan still treated you like an outsider. It's not right." He shrugged, a sad smile on his face. "That's Ethan. He always wanted everything for himself, but I don't care anymore. I want to build something mine, something that matters, and with you here I think we're on the right track." Lily felt her face warm, a mix of gratitude and something she couldn't name. Noah was different, not just from Ethan, but from anyone she'd known. His authenticity disarmed her, his way of seeing the world with hope despite everything. Still, she held back, keeping an invisible wall up. After Ethan, trust felt like too big a risk. The City Park Festival was a surprising triumph. Thousands filled the park, singing along to bluegrass bands, buying hemp bracelets from local artisans and snapping photos at a scene Lily designed, an arch of native wildflowers that looked straight out of a storybook. Social media exploded with Roots Alive in Denver, and local press praised the blend of tradition and modernity. Lily and Noah watched the main act from a reserved area, their faces lit by stage lights. When a band struck up Rocky Top, Noah nudged her, joking, "This one's for dancing, huh? Not gonna ask me." She laughed, shaking her head. "Didn't you say you're terrible at music? Let's not risk it." But inside her heart raced, as if every moment with Noah was building something new, something she wasn't ready to acknowledge. The festival's success brought new contracts for Roots Alive. A chain of malls wanted to hire them for craft fairs across cities, and an NGO proposed a partnership for Native American art exhibits. Lily worked tirelessly, with a joy she hadn't felt since Greenwave's early days. Noah surprised her with small gestures, a coffee left on her desk with a note saying, "You're a rock star," or a break to show her a video of an artisan thanking them for the festival's impact. Those moments were like seeds, quietly sprouting in Lily's heart. But the past resurfaced one sunny morning with an elegant envelope among the office mail. It was an invitation to a gala in Denver, hosted by the local Chamber of Commerce, where Greenwave would be honored for the Santa Barbara contract. Signed by Ethan and Ava, it felt almost taunting, as if daring her to show up. Lily's anger flared, mixed with fierce resolve. Ethan and Ava wanted to humiliate her, to parade her as the defeated ex-fiancée, but she wasn't that Lily anymore. "I'm going to that gala," she told Noah, showing him the invite. "I want them to see they didn't break me." Noah frowned, concerned. "You don't need to prove anything to them, Lily. You're already building something amazing here." She shook her head, eyes blazing with pride and defiance. "It's not just for them, Noah. It's for me. I want to look them in the eye and know I'm stronger than ever." Noah hesitated, then smiled. "Then go and kill it. But if you need backup, just call." The days leading up to the gala were a mix of anxiety and determination for Lily. The invitation, with its sleek calligraphy and Chamber of Commerce seal, pulsed with an unspoken challenge. Ethan and Ava wanted to see her broken, humiliated, a relic of their discarded past. But Lily was no longer the woman who'd left Greenwave's office with silent tears and a shattered heart. She was a rising force, someone who'd turned Roots Alive into a name buzzing on social media and in Denver's cultural scene. Still, the thought of facing Ethan and Ava in a public setting, under everyone's gaze, knotted her stomach. She spent hours picking the perfect dress, a deep emerald gown with delicate sleeves and a fit that hugged her frame, bought from a small boutique in Lodo. While applying a bold red lipstick she rarely wore, Lily looked in the mirror and repeated, "You're stronger than they think. You're enough." The words, spoken aloud, were a mantra, a reminder that the gala wasn't about Ethan or Ava, but about her. At Roots Alive's office, Noah sensed her tension. He didn't push to join her, respecting her choice to go alone, but his expressive brown eyes showed worry. "Text me if you need me," he said, handing her a pen with the Roots Alive logo, a small gesture that made her smile. Not a magic wand, but it might bring you luck. Lily tucked the pen in her purse, feeling an unexpected warmth. Noah had a disarming way of making her feel seen, valued, without grand gestures. Still, she held back, wary of trusting again, especially Ethan's brother. The gala was held in the grand ballroom of a luxury hotel in Cherry Creek, with crystal chandeliers gleaming like stars and tables draped in pristine white linens. The air smelled of expensive cologne and Merlot, the crowd a mix of business tycoons, local politicians, and Denver's elite. Lily entered with her head high, heels clicking on the marble floor. She felt eyes on her, some curious, some patronizing, but she didn't falter. She spotted Ethan and Ava instantly, holding court in the room's center with a group of investors. Ethan, in a tailored suit with a rehearsed smile, looked untouchable. Ava, beside him in a shimmering gold dress, met Lily's gaze and faltered for a moment. Lily took a deep breath and approached, each step a declaration of her presence. "Lily, didn't expect you here," Ethan said, his voice laced with veiled sarcasm. "Pretty bold of you." Ava tried a smile, but it faded fast. "Hey, Lily. Glad you came to support Greenwave." The hypocrisy stung, but Lily stayed composed. "I'm not here for Greenwave," she said, voice steady. "I'm here because I belong in this industry, Ethan. Always have, and I don't need your invitation to prove it." Ethan chuckled, low and taunting. "You always thought you were bigger than you are, Lily, but look, Greenwave's soaring without you. That resort deal? Just the start. And you, what, running little craft fairs now?" The group around them snickered, and Lily felt heat rise to her face. She opened her mouth to retort, but a deep voice cut in. "Actually, she's turning American culture into something people want to celebrate." Noah appeared beside her, in a simple navy blazer that looked custom-made. He wasn't invited, but there he was, eyes locked on Ethan with calm defiance. Roots Alive under Lily's lead. Just packed City Park with a festival everyone's talking about. You saw the headlines, Ethan, or are you too busy patting yourself on the back to notice? The room hushed for a moment, all eyes on the brothers. Ethan's eyes narrowed, his confident mask cracking. "Noah, what are you doing here? Think you can show up with my ex and steal the spotlight?" He turned to Lily, venom in his tone. "This your plan, Lily? Using him to get to me?" Pathetic. Lily squared her shoulders. Noah's presence a shield, but she didn't need it to fight. "I don't need anyone to face you, Ethan. You fired me, cheated on me, tried to erase me, but I'm still here. I'm building something bigger than you could ever dream. And you know why? Because I don't rely on your family's money, I rely on me." Her words rang out, and she saw Ethan's face tighten. Ava tried to intervene, touching his arm. "Ethan, let it go." But he ignored her, stepping toward Lily. "You think you can outdo me? You're nothing without Greenwave, and him," he jabbed a finger at Noah, "he's just a loser leeching off your moment." Noah stepped forward, voice low but sharp. "You never change, Ethan. Always putting others down to feel big. But Lily, she's why Greenwave got where it did, and now she's making Roots Alive shine. The loser here is you, for not valuing who's by your side." The standoff drew eyes, and Lily felt a surge of pride. She didn't need Ethan's approval, but seeing him rattled, words stuck in his throat, was a victory. She took Noah's arm, not for show, but in gratitude. "Let's go, Noah. We're done here." They left the ballroom, leaving Ethan and Ava behind amid the guests' whispers. In the elevator, the silence between them was charged but not awkward. "You didn't have to come," Lily said, looking at him. Noah smiled, one corner of his mouth lifting. "I know, but I couldn't let you face those two alone. You're tough, Lily, but you don't have to carry it all by yourself." She looked away, heart racing. Why did his words hit so hard? Why did his presence, so unlike Ethan's arrogance, make her want to lower her guard? They stepped out of the hotel into a nearby plaza, where a lit fountain cast gentle arcs of water. Lily sat on a bench, still clutching Noah's pen. "Thank you," she said softly, "for being there, for believing in me." Noah sat beside her, their shoulders nearly touching. "No need to thank me. I came because I wanted to, because you're starting to mean a lot to me." He hesitated, as if the words were a risk. "But I know what Ethan put you through. I won't push you." Lily's breath caught. She wanted to say something, but words failed her. Instead, she looked at him, at eyes that seemed to see beyond her walls. For a moment, the world, the traffic, the fountain's hum, faded away. But she held back, Ethan's shadow still looming. "Let's take it slow," she said, a shy smile forming, "but I'm glad you were there." Noah nodded, respecting her space. They sat in the plaza, talking about the festival, Roots Alive's next steps, everything and nothing. Lily felt something new stirring, not just in her career, but within her. The gala had been a milestone, proof she didn't need Ethan to shine. And with Noah beside her, she began to believe she might trust again. Not just herself, but someone who saw her worth. After the gala showdown, Lily felt a new energy coursing through her, as if she'd broken an invisible chain tying her to the past. Ethan's rattled face and Ava's uneasy silence were images she held with quiet pride. But it wasn't about them anymore. It was about her, the woman rebuilding herself piece by piece in a world that tried to erase her. Roots Alive, now in the spotlight after the City Park Festival, became a magnet for new projects, and Lily dove into the next challenge, a national cultural fair called America in Roots, blending music, crafts, food, and sustainability talks in a traveling event starting in Denver and expanding to Nashville, Asheville, and Santa Fe. The idea was bold, but Lily saw it as a chance to cement Roots Alive as a cultural cornerstone in the US, as something even Greenwave with Ethan's wealth couldn't match. She spent days coordinating teams, negotiating with sponsors, and designing setups that mixed traditional elements, like mosaic panels inspired by WPA murals, with modern touches like interactive LED installations telling stories of local communities. Noah, with his easygoing passion, was her tireless partner, always there in meetings, bringing contacts for regional artists and ideas that complemented hers. They were an unlikely but perfect duo. Lily with her strategic vision, Noah with his love for American culture. The office nights, once chaotic, became moments of pure creation, often set to a playlist of folk or jazz humming softly from Noah's radio. During one such night, finalizing a pottery exhibit layout, Lily caught Noah watching her with an unexplained smile. "What?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. He shrugged, still smiling. "Just thinking about how you've changed this place. A year ago, Roots Alive was a half-baked dream. Now look at this," he said, gesturing to the sketches strewn across the table. "You're like a wildfire, Lily, in a good way." She laughed, the compliment catching her off guard, making her heart race. Noah had a way of making her feel seen, not as Ethan's ex or the betrayed woman, but as Lily, the creator, the dreamer, the force behind something bigger. Still, she sidestepped these moments, keeping her guard up. Ethan's betrayal had left scars, and trusting again, especially Ethan's brother, felt like a leap she wasn't ready for. But Noah's small gestures chipped away at her defenses, a glass of iced tea left on her desk with a post-it saying, "Keep rocking it, boss," or him walking her to the bus stop in Denver's sudden downpours, holding an umbrella that barely covered them both. These acts, so natural to him, began to crack her walls, and she found herself smiling alone at the memory of their talks. The America in Roots fair moved forward swiftly, With sponsors like an organic food brand and a hotel chain backing the project, Lily leveraged her green wave-honed negotiation skills to secure partnerships that covered costs and turned a profit. She also introduced a section for women artisans, with booths for quilters from Appalachia, potters from the Southwest, and weavers from native communities. The idea, sparked over a lunch of pulled pork sandwiches with Noah, was an instant hit, drawing interest from NGOs and even a TV network wanting to cover the event. But a shadow from the past crept back. One morning, while reviewing contracts, Lily got an email from an anonymous sender claiming critical information about Roots Alive and demanding an urgent meeting. The tone was vague but menacing, chilling her. She showed it to Noah, who frowned. "Sounds like Ethan," he said, voice tight. "He never plays fair. When I won the inheritance in court, he spread rumors to tarnish me. I wouldn't put it past him to try sabotaging us now." Lily's jaw tightened, anger flaring. "If it's him, he won't win. Not this time," she replied, setting a meeting at a downtown Denver coffee shop, ready to face whoever it was. On the appointed day, under a light drizzle, Lily walked into the cafe and found not Ethan, but a man in an ill-fitting suit, claiming to represent a rival company with ties to Greenwave. He accused Roots Alive of infringing on a similar event, threatening a lawsuit if the fair wasn't cancelled. "Better settle this quietly," he said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Lily, keeping her cool, asked for proof, but he dodged, suggesting they resolve it amicably. When he left, Lily knew it was a scare tactic, likely Ethan's doing to derail her success. Instead of backing down, she returned to the office with renewed fire. She gathered Roots Alive's small but loyal team, designers, producers, passionate interns, and shared the threat. "We're not stopping," she said, voice firm. "If someone thinks they can scare us, they don't know us. We're making this fair the biggest the US has seen." Noah, beside her, nodded, proud. "So you heard the boss," he told the team, grinning. "Let's show 'em what we've got." In the following days, Lily doubled down, boosting promotion and organization. She hired lawyers to protect Roots Alive from any lawsuits and turned the sabotage attempt into positive PR, posting about supporting American culture against those who want to silence our roots. The campaign went viral, with thousands of shares and support from artists and influencers. Tickets for the Denver opening sold out in hours. One rainy night, finalizing details, Lily and Noah were alone in the office. The sound of rain on the windows set a gentle backdrop. Noah, sitting on the floor with papers scattered around, looked at her. "You know, Lily, I never said this, but you inspire me. You took something that could have crushed you and turned it into this. I don't know how you do it." Lily, reviewing a schedule on her laptop, paused, caught off guard. She wasn't used to such raw, sincere praise. "I just do what needs doing," she said, hiding a blush. Noah shook his head. "It's more than that. You've got a strength I can't explain. And look, I know Ethan hurt you. I'm not pushing, but you need to know I care about you. A lot." The silence that followed was heavy but not uneasy. Lily's heart raced, her walls trembling under his words. She wanted to say she felt something too, but fear held her back. "Noah, I care about you too," she admitted, voice barely a whisper. "But after everything, I'm scared. I don't want to get hurt again." He moved closer, respecting her space. "I get it. I won't rush you. Just know, for me, you're more than enough. Always have been." They sat there under the dim glow of a lamp, rain as their witness. Lily didn't say more, but for the first time, she let herself imagine a future where trust wasn't a risk, but a choice. The America in Roots Fair was days away, and Lily knew it would be more than an event. It would prove she was bigger than her scars, bigger than her past. With Noah by her side, she began to believe she could not only overcome, but love again. The morning of the America in Roots Fair dawned bright, the sun blazing over Denver's Colorado Convention Center, where Roots Alive had transformed a stark hall into a vibrant celebration of American culture. Lily walked through the booths, checking every detail with the sharp eye of someone who knew this event was more than a fair. It was proof of her resilience, her ability to turn pain into creation. The aisles buzzed with the twang of banjos and fiddles from a bluegrass band, while artisans from the Ozarks displayed quilts so intricate they seemed to tell stories in every stitch. There were food stalls serving cornbread with honey butter, others with peach cobbler, and a corner where kids learned to make kites with craftspeople from New Orleans. Lily, in a breezy cotton blouse and a skirt patterned with wildflowers, felt her heart swell with pride. The fair was her reflection, vibrant, authentic, unbreakable. Noah was by her side, managing the team with his calm but firm presence, ensuring everything ran smoothly. In a chambray shirt with rolled-up sleeves, his smile seemed to light the hall more than the LED fixtures Lily had designed. They exchanged quick, complicit glances, tinged with something deeper, something Lily still hesitated to name. Since his confession in the office under the rain, her walls were crumbling, but fear of new pain kept her cautious. Still, Noah's smiles, his casual touches on her shoulder, his notes of encouragement, were seeds in what she'd thought was barren soil. The fair exceeded all expectations. Thousands flooded the convention center, snapping photos at interactive installations like a mosaic mural inspired by Norman Rockwell, where visitors could write messages in chalk. The press was there, reporters interviewing Lily about Roots Alive's vision, while influencers posted videos that exploded online with Dakar America in Roots. A national TV network aired live segments, spotlighting the women artisans section, Lily's brainchild that moved everyone. During a break, sipping iced lemonade, Lily got an unexpected call. It was from an international cultural and sustainability organization in Seattle, which had followed the fair online. They proposed a partnership to take America in Roots to cities in Latin America, starting in Mexico City and Bogota. "Your work is inspiring, Lily," said the representative, a woman with a warm, excited voice. "You've blended culture, sustainability, and inclusion in a way we've never seen. We want you leading this." Lily hung up, hands shaking, heart racing. It was beyond what she'd dreamed, even in Greenwave's best days. She found Noah among the crowd, helping a quilter arrange her work. "Noah, you won't believe this," she said, voice brimming with excitement. He looked up, curious, and she shared the news. His smile was so genuine, Lily wanted to hug him right there. "You deserve this, Lily. This is just the start," he said, holding her hand a moment longer than needed. But the moment's joy was cut short by an unwelcome sight. Ethan appeared in the hall with Ava, who looked uneasy in a dress too tight for the warm day. He strode in with his usual arrogance, his pristine suit clashing with the fair's vibrant energy. Lily's stomach churned, but it wasn't fear. It was controlled anger mixed with certainty that he no longer held power over her. "Well, Lily, nice surprise," Ethan said, stopping at the main booth, where she displayed a native plant panel. "Thought you were playing at county fairs, but this is cute. Too bad it won't last. Heard you had some trouble with competitors, huh?" His smile dripped with venom, referencing the threatening email she'd faced weeks ago. Lily crossed her arms, staying calm. "If you're here to scare me, Ethan, you're wasting your time. Roots Alive is stronger than ever, and you won't change that." Ava tried to speak, voice shaky. "Lily, we just came to check it out. No need for this." But Lily cut her off with a firm look. "You don't get to tell me how to feel, Ava. Not after what you both did." Ethan laughed, but there was a nervous edge. "You think this," he gestured at the fair, "is something. Greenwave's landing international deals while you play with crafts. And him," he pointed at Noah, approaching, "he's just my loser brother riding your coattails." Noah stopped beside Lily, stance relaxed but eyes sharp. "You never change, Ethan. Always tearing others down to feel big. But Lily, she's why Greenwave got anywhere. Now she's making Roots Alive shine. The loser's you for not valuing who's beside you." The crowd noticed, and Ethan, sensing eyes on him, tried to keep his cool. "You're always a nuisance, Noah. And her? Just a replaceable piece I upgraded." He grabbed Ava's arm, but she pulled away, face flushed with shame. Lily stepped forward, voice unwavering. "You didn't upgrade, Ethan. You lost me. And now looking at you, I just feel sorry. I'm living my dream, and you? You're stuck in your ego." She turned away, ending the conversation, and the crowd clapped spontaneously, a quiet nod to her strength. Ethan left with Ava, who could barely meet her eyes. When the fair ended that night, Lily and Noah stayed in the hall helping the team dismantle booths. The silence was easy, broken only by the clatter of boxes. Noah, holding a roll of twine, looked at her. "You were incredible today. Not just for the fair, but for standing up to Ethan. You're something else." Lily smiled, the weight of the past slipping off her shoulders. "You know, Noah, I came here wanting revenge. I wanted him to feel my pain. But now, I just want to be happy. And you make me want that." Her words spilled out before she could stop them. Noah dropped the twine, stepping closer. "Lily, I know you're scared. I am too. But since you joined Roots Alive, my life's different. Not just the work. It's you. I love you." Lily's heart stopped for a beat. She looked into his eyes, so full of sincerity, and felt her last walls crumble. "I love you too," she said, voice trembling with emotion. Before she could say more, Noah pulled her into a hug, and they stood there in the empty hall with the scent of wood and flowers lingering. But the surprises weren't over. The next week, as Lily finalized details for the international partnership, a team of journalists arrived at Roots Alive with news. America in Roots had been nominated for a Global Cultural Innovation Award to be presented in Lisbon. Stunned, Lily accepted the invitation to represent the US, with Noah by her side. At the ceremony, under a historic theater's lights, Lily accepted the award, not just as Roots Alive's leader, but as the woman who'd turned pain into a legacy. In her speech, she thanked the team, the artisans, and glancing at Noah in the audience said, "This is for those who believe love and culture can change the world." After the ceremony, in the theater's garden with the Tagus River glowing in the distance, Noah pulled her aside. "Lily, I didn't bring a ring because you deserve more than cliches. But I want to spend my life with you, building, dreaming, living. Will you marry me?" She laughed, tears in her eyes, and answered with a kiss that said everything. It was a yes, not just to Noah, but to the life she'd chosen. One of triumph, love, and purpose. Lily hadn't just beaten Ethan. She'd conquered fear, doubt, and built a future that shone brighter than any $1,000,000 contract. What did you think of the story? Drop your rating from 0 to 10 in the comments. Subscribe and turn on notifications to catch our stories first, and check out the emotional tale now on your screen.